What up, YouTube? So in this video, we went on and talked about 7 sources of income, how to create those sources, where I'm at in my journey, and why it's important to start generating and building with the financial wealth that could come from these 7 sources. If you go on and like this video, go ahead and smash the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. What up, YouTube? Today I want to talk to y'all about 7 sources of income, why it's important, how to get started, and where I'm at in my journey. Just to start things off, they say that the average millionaire have 5 or more sources of income. If you look at those numbers, you'll probably find different results everywhere you look. But, in my research, the bottom line is you never want to have 100% of your income coming from one source. So today I wanted to kind of talk about that and maybe get the brain going so that you guys out there can see how, when, and where you want to start your journey. For me, I'm working on source number 3. As of now, I officially made 2 sources of income. And when I say officially, I just mean that I turned my side hustle into an official business, which is, in my case, an LLC. There's other options available. You don't have to go the LLC route. LLC basically means limited liability company or corporation, and that's what I did. You also have DBAs available. You also have S-Corps available, and so on and so forth. If you guys want more information on that, you guys could hit me up and let me know that you want me to talk more about that. But for now, I just want to get into these sources of income. So in my opinion, you always want to start off with your main job. Your main job can be a source of income. It should be a main source of income, unless you're just out here hustling, bustling. But it's important to have, your main job as a main source, because chances are that's going to back and fund all your other ventures. So use that main source of income as your main job to put into other sources to get it going. Again, mine start off as a side hustle, so I use my main source of income to invest in my side hustle. Once my side hustle started generating enough cash flow and I started gaining enough momentum in customers, I turned that side hustle into an LLC. Now that I have an LLC with my side hustle, not only am I paying taxes on that, but I also get tax breaks and things of that nature. I could get business credit. And a lot of those things are going to matter with moving forward. Just to slow it down real quick, I always recommend to not be all over the place when it comes to developing different sources of income, because your business is going to need your full and undivided attention. Oftentimes we get caught up trying to do a little bit here, a little bit there, and a little bit, everywhere else, and we never fully give our full undivided attention to the business or the task at hand. And when you're dealing with clients, that's not always a good thing, because chances are you're not giving those clients the proper attention that they deserve, or the proper quality of work. Also, what we need to understand is that within every level of our business or source of income, we also should be trying to develop subdivisions or add-ons. The perfect example of that would be like a Starbucks. If you go to Starbucks and buy a cup of coffee, chances are he's going to ask, do you want to buy a donut or a bagel or anything else to add on to that cup of joe that you also just bought? So the same thing applies within your sources of income. So like for me, one of my main sources of income is HVAC. So although I may be there doing some air conditioning work, whether it be a maintenance or whether it be a compressor installation or a new unit, I'm going to talk to that client and I'm going to let them know, by the way, your thermostat is a little outdated. We have something that's more efficient that can run your system a little less. That's going to entail lower your electric bill and things like that. So now they may have just bought a system, but they also bought a new thermostat. Or in the case of the same with the new system, oh, by the way, it's important now that you got a new system that you want to maintain a system. So what we offer here is maintenance contracts. We could do a PM12, which is once a month we come in and do the maintenance. We could do a PM6, which is basically 6 times a year we come do the maintenance. or PM4, so on and so forth. So basically, we sell those contracts. So not only do the customer feel more comfortable with buying the new equipment that they just bought, but they also know that they're gonna prolong the longevity of the equipment that they just bought. So that's also important. Those are add-ons. Those are subdivisions of your source and things like that. Just to get a little more into it, like I said, I'm at 3 right now. My main source of income is my HVAC source, which is me working. It's a 9 to 5. It's not something that I solely control. But eventually, when I replace the 9 to 5 with, my LLC or other sources of income, then, eventually I'll be in full control and I'm not punching the clock and working for someone. And that's always the goal and the key for me. My second source of income is a subdivision from my 9 to 5, which also entail different traits of the HVAC field. And that's just like contracting. What I do with the contracting is more or less residential, and I go into, or I deal with different people that buy and sell and flip properties, and I advise them, or I bid on contracts for the plumbing, the electrical, and the HVAC work. From there, I'll hire different plumbers or HVAC divisions or different people that I know that could get that work done, and I get paid for it. So that's what I do for one of my second sources. I've been doing that for a while. It's been booming. I made a lot of money off of it within the last 5 years. So I decided to go ahead and turn it into an LLC, make it official, and keep going from there. My third source, which is what I'm working on right now, is still in the real estate realm. Right now I'm shooting this video in my basement. My basement is going to become a fourth source, but I'll get into that a little later. Right now with my third source in the real estate market, I'm in the process of closing out on my second property. My second property is an investment property. At the moment, it already have a tenant in there. It's already cash flowing. I plan on using the BRRRR method, but I'm working on that method right now. I'll get a little bit more into the BRRRR method in a later video, but I don't really want to focus on that. But I'm doing that with this second property purchase. So anyway, with the renovation, I plan to raise the rent, which is already cash flowing anyway, but now I'll get a better cash flow out of that. With the fourth source of income, I do plan on getting it started. It's actually already in motion already. So with the fourth source of income, it's only going to be basically a side hustle. I'm experimenting. I'm putting the material out there. Perfecting my craft. I'm learning it, so that once it starts booming and picking up, then I'll pretty much be able to also do another LLC or DBA or corporation, and I probably have it all under one main umbrella eventually. But I want to cash flow it. I want to make it official. I want to pay taxes on it. I want to borrow against it. Plenty of ways that you could create sources of income, even with this YouTube channel. Eventually, it should become a source of income. If you want to create a blog, you could create a blog. There's other subdivisions in the blog that you can also generate sources of income from. A lot of my friends that have blogs, they're doing ebooks, they're doing courses and things of that nature. T-shirt printing companies is also another awesome source of income. Everybody need t-shirts, custom t-shirts. But just to rattle off, some more sources of income. You also have, Amazon affiliate marketing, which is a great source of income. Just to go over it briefly, you're getting paid a commission if somebody buys something from Amazon, an Amazon product. So, if you direct that traffic to Amazon, someone click on the link and then they buy from Amazon, you'll get, a piece of that profit. So I know a lot of people that are doing that. I'm not really familiar with it, but I could get the information and give it to you guys if that's something that you want more information on. Same thing with drop shipping. That's also another awesome way to make some money. You're not using your own money. It don't cost you anything. Only thing it's going to cost you is time. And Another thing that I wanted to talk about on this particular platform right here, on this particular issue or this particular subject, is using your resources. Your resources can be a source of income depending on the type of resource that you have. So if you already have a business out there, you may have employees that you're paying them, but you're not fully using their expertise. You might have a graphic designer on your team, and he's not or she's not as busy as you would like them to be. So maybe you could lease them out to another company that could use a graphic designer and have that company pay you for using them, so that maybe they're also covering their salary, but also paying you a little bit extra in your pocket. So that's just one resource that you could use if you have your own business and you have guys just sitting around not really doing much. I kind of do that in my HVAC business when it comes to having techs and things like that are calling me, or when it comes to contractors that are calling me that need to be busy, then I'll pretty much find them work and I'll take a percentage or a commission on whatever it is that they're making. Same thing with plumbers, same thing with carpenters and things of that nature. So that's a good source of income. That's a good thing that you can do to keep money coming in. Another thing that I want to talk about when it comes to utilizing your resources is sometimes you got guys that are heavily into collecting cars. Now, maybe you want to start, a car dealership or a car lot or something like that. Maybe you're building up a car collection so that you could start a cab service. I'm heavily into the stock market. I'm into index funds. I'm into CDs. I'm into mutual funds. Another thing that I did outside of my HVAC business when I was closing on this house is I was day trading. I was able to make a few $1,000s within a few months day trading. Buying stocks, holding on to it for less than 72 hours and selling it for a profit. I'm heavily into that. I'm not as into it now. Most of the stocks in my portfolio is for the long run. Most of my stocks right now in my portfolio, I had for some time, and again, there's ups and downs. Just recently, in the last few months, the stock market has been going down, especially since November. I believe right now it's on the up and up. But once November hit, it was like Black Friday to me for the stock market. So I went and I dumped a lot of money into the stock market around that time. I was sitting on some cash. I was also looking for the house, my second property that I'm closing on now. I was looking hard, but I didn't want to just be sitting on the money that I was. With that being said, let's recap. 7 sources of income, why it's important, how to get started, and what I'm doing. 7 sources that sticks out to me is 9 to 5. For me, that's my HVAC business that I work for, the company that I'm working with. 2, side hustle. For me, it was contracting. I was able to turn my contracting business into an LLC and on the I. 3rd source, real estate. Already I'm 1 property in officially. Again, I'm in my basement right now. It is legally an apartment that I can rent out. I'm not doing it because I want my family to enjoy every piece of this house. 4th, I told y'all that I'll fill y'all in possibly, and pretty much that's going to be merch. Merchandise based on my channel, on my platform. 5th, for me, investing. When I say investing, it's not just real estate, it's not just investing in myself, but stocks and bonds, mutual funds, 401ks, IRAs, and things of that nature. I feel like that's important. I feel like everyone out there should have something like that set up in their portfolio. I feel like the younger you are to get into it, the better off you are. 6 and 7, I'm still working on. I do have 6 and 7 in mind already, but I'm not going to share it here with you guys because I haven't perfected that craft yet. I don't know if it's something that I want to go full throttle with, and it's not generating enough money for me to kind of talk about it. and I haven't dumped enough money into it for it to be relevant. But just to go over 6 and 7 or Amazon affiliate marketing, that could easily be a 6 and 7. Ebooks, that could easily be a 6 and 7. Setting up course documents and things like that, that could easily be a 6 and 7. Multi-level marketing, World Ventures, that could easily be a 6 and 7 for me. So that's just going over the 7 sources. Why is it important? It's very important that we start to establish some type of foundation for ourselves and our families. If this is you and you alone, then great. But if it's you, your family, your kids, your wife, your husband, or your siblings, or even your parents, then it's important that we start to build this foundation so that we have something to pass off to generations to come, not only with knowledge, but also, finances. I believe that, within the Black and brown communities alone, that's something that, is not talked about often enough. And that's also something that I'm going to talk about in another video. But basically just creating generational wealth. There's many ways to create generational wealth. But in a nutshell, what generational wealth is just passing on wealth, whether it be money or something of value to the generations after you. How to get started is just to make up your mind. Make up your mind. Say to yourself, I'm going to start today. If you don't have a job, go ahead and get a job. Why don't you have a job? So start there. If you do have a job, find something that you're passionate about. Start thinking about different ways that you could, make money off of it. If you're not a passionate person, find a side hustle. Find something that you can sell. Find a service that you can provide, in the realm of something that you already understand. In the realm of something that, if you need to take a course or a class or anything like that to become certified in, it's not going to cost you a lot of time or money. But putting in that time and money, you'll get paid back double, triple, and tenfold, 100 times what it is you paid for. Start that hustle. And when you start that hustle, eventually, once it really starts clicking, go ahead and set up a DBA, which it stands for Do Business As. It doesn't cost that much money to do a DBA. The thing with a DBA is set up under you, so that if anything was to happen, people would come after you. So that's why I'm not really too keen on DBAs, but it's affordable, it's cheap. All it takes is you to go down to City Hall or your county clerk's office and, fill out the paperwork, pay a fee, and get started. I believe it's like $30 or somewhere in that ballpark to start a DBA through the county clerk's office. Or you could go with the LLC. The LLC is a little more expensive. I started my LLC for $200. The average cost, it probably depends on your state or your county, but to my knowledge, the average cost is $200 to start your LLC. Your LLC is similar to a DBA, but it protects you more. With a DBA, if something was to go left, people could come after you. With an LLC, it's its own person. So the LLC is responsible for the LLC. Just some bonus information. Keep in mind that whatever business you do, keep in mind that whatever side hustle you have, keep in mind that whatever source of income you start, there should always be other subdivisions. Always have that add-on. Always have that plus one. Always be that great employee at Starbucks that spell your name wrong on the cup, that's asking you, do you want to buy a donut? Be that person. Find something in your business that you could sell. If you have a cleaning business or things like that, which by the way is a great business to start, cleaning business, talk to your clients. Maybe you're bringing the dustpan and the broom every chance to these houses or these facilities that you're cleaning. Talk to the clients. Listen, I see that you don't have a dustpan and a broom on site. I see that you don't have your own mop bucket. I see that you don't have your own vacuum. Now, it's not a problem, me using mine and bringing mine, but just keep in mind that I use these for all my clients that don't have them. Maybe you want to buy one. By the way, I sell them. I sell brooms. I sell dustpans. I sell mops. I sell mop buckets. I sell vacuums. for X amount of dollars. That if you want to buy it, here it is. And what do? You take a deposit. Know your market first though. Know how much the vacuum that you recommend costs, and you bump it up. You bump that price up. Same as if you was to drop ship. You bump that price up 10, 15, 20%. Because keep in mind that if you buy it, you're the one that's either ordering it or you're the one that's, picking it up and delivering it. And that's a service that deserves to be paid for. If you're selling brooms, if you're selling mops, if you're selling dustpans, if you're selling mop buckets, you can easily go right to the dollar store, and pick those things up. Or you could easily go to a wholesale store. You could easily go to Big Lots. Like, you have so many different places that you could go that's cheap that, if you're selling them to those clients, although they may say, oh, wow, I could have bought this myself. Guess what? You didn't, and you got to pay for it. But, work on that. Work on your sales skills, because selling is the number one thing in any business. I don't care what part of the company you're in. We all is in sales. Same thing applies, like I said, with my HVAC company. Like, I have to be able to sell. I have to be able to talk to my clients, and I have to be able to develop those relationships so that they trust what it is I'm telling them. Like, listen, you don't want to use this mop that I just used in Joe Schmo house. You don't want to use this vacuum that I just used in, whoever's apartment. Like, you don't want to use that. It's okay. I'll use it for you. The job is going to get done. It's going to be a great job. But I recommend that you have your own, So those are some things that you guys, want to keep in mind. Those are just tips. And like I said, just create those sub pockets, those subdivisions. And, that one source can also branch off to other sources. I don't want to have to work for anyone. I want to be able to travel the world however I see fit. I want to live wherever I want to live. And I don't want to be filling out any applications. And I don't want to be updating my resumes. Like, that's not what I want to do. So you guys go ahead and get started. Thanks for tuning in. Again, subscribe to the channel. Click the notification bell. Follow me on all social media platforms. Keep an eye out for the merchandise that I'm going to be having available if you like to support the channel. Comment. And I'm always looking forward to you guys' suggestions on what it is you want to hear more of, or some things that I could go a little bit further in depth with. So, thank you guys. Mugiano, signing out.